Excuse me. Oh man, I don't know if it's spring fever. I don't know what it is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. I got the sneezing fits right now. But I was waking up. I was struggling to get up. I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow, you know, it's easy to get lost in your own thoughts. Just sitting there wondering, thinking, stressing over things. And I ask you out there, have you ever been lost in your own thoughts? What's going on, Margie? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you for being a great supporter. And I don't know. Sometimes it's easy to just get caught up thinking about things that don't matter, stuff that you can't really do much about. You know, I don't know about you. What's going on, Cargo 619? I appreciate you. I don't know if any of you folks ever just been lost in your own thoughts sometimes, just sitting there wondering about things and hoping about things and wishing things would work out the way that you would like them to work out. You know, I don't know. It's just something that comes across my mind. It's something that kind of like hit me as I woke up. I was just like, wow. I don't know. It's easy. It's easy to just sometimes get overwhelmed. I remember an old timer told me one time. He said the problem with this generation is that we think too much. And I wanted to say, nah, that's not the case, but it is. With the smartphones, with the technology that we have, 24-hour news cycle, it's easy. It's easy. I don't know if you've ever been there, folks. I don't know if you've ever been lost in your own thoughts. I don't know if you've ever been lost in your head somewhere, just to the point where you're just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Happy Friday the 13th. I don't know if it's a happy Friday the 13th, but yes, it is Friday the 13th. And happy birthday as well to Tosh Time. Anybody out there, if you haven't said happy birthday to Tosh Time, go over to her channel and check her out. Today's her birthday. Beautiful birthday girl over there. Congratulations to you for making it another year, Tosh Time. Happy birthday to Tosh Time, and happy birthday to anybody that's born on this day, Friday the 13th. For some reason, I want to go out there and watch a Jason movie. Yeah, if you watch the replay, much love. Yeah, I get it. What's up, Grandpa's Place? Yeah, it's easy to get lost in your own mind. Sometimes you just be sitting there, I could be there for hours just wondering, just thinking to myself like, wow, like almost like in an abyss somewhere. I don't know if any of you ever had that quiet time or had that moment where you were doing something and all of a sudden, half an hour goes past, 2 or 3 hours goes past, and you're just sitting there, you're just wondering, you're just thinking, you just like you hoping, you wishing, you dreaming, you stressing, going through all the panoply of emotions that you can face in a day, in a time. Uh, yeah, I have no idea right now. Yeah. What's going on, Slayer? Thank you for coming through. Like I said, I don't know. The reason I say this because I know other people go through it themselves. I'm assuming that y'all folks go through this. Sometimes you just be sitting there getting lost in your own thoughts because you want things to work out, or you want something to happen, or you're excited about something, or you're worried about something, or you're stressing about something, or you're constantly in the mode where you're taking in information, because we're constantly taking in information, we're constantly taking in content. I'll say this much: I'm very lucky to be alive today. Yeah, yeah, I'm very lucky to be alive today too, Cargo. Believe me. And you're right, Margie. Isn't that daydreaming? No, I'm not talking about daydreaming. You can daydream. Sometimes a daydream is a daydream is a daydream. You can get lost in your mind daydreaming. But I think what I mean by, let me clarify what I mean by getting lost in your head. So I'm here to support again. Okay, thank you, thank you. It's all good. It's all good. Never saw you at my place. Well, I don't know when you're doing live, but I gotta check out your place, Carolina. Anyway, what I mean by going, like not daydreaming. Why you got me thinking about daydreaming, Slayer? What I mean by getting lost in your own mind, I don't stress about anything. I don't worry about anything. Even less, the older I get, the more I realize that the less and less um, of it really matters. I'm a thinker. I hear that. what was I gonna say? What I mean by what I'm saying is sometimes you just, I guess you can literally just get lost in stuff that that you go through in your regular day. Your subconscious. Yes, there you go, Margie. Our subconscious mind. Sometimes you're doing something, sometimes you're thinking, and then a thought crosses your mind, or a flashback, or a situation can happen, and it could have you just thinking. It could be the paradox or something. It could be the difficult situation. It could be a good situation. It even can be a daydream, and you're just sitting there stuck on that one moment sometimes, or you're in a distant future somewhere, or you're worrying about something that you can't really control. But I guess it's like Grandpa's Place was talking about. Sometimes the older you get, you realize certain things is not worth going delving deep into. Yeah, Carolina, my mother says the same thing. I'm not trying to be a psychologist, but it's just something, like I said, I just have thoughts and stuff on my mind just like anybody else. I mean, I'm just asking the people out there in the chat, I guess, do you ever get lost in your own thoughts? And I was told sometimes to not get lost in your own thoughts is sometimes you have to step away and and kind of funny is just take a quiet time and not think about nothing. But then a lot of us don't know how to do that. A lot of us don't know how to take a quiet time to where we put our phone down, or we turn the TV off, or we turn the computer off, or we're not concentrating on something else or someone else, and just have like almost like a meditation and whatnot. And it's hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It's not always easy living a busy life, constantly ingrained with stuff, constantly moving, constantly, in the world doing what we do, whatever that may be. It's not always easy to just say, what, I'm gonna take time to meditate. I'm gonna take time to release myself from the stresses of life. I'm gonna take time not to worry as much. I'm gonna take my time not to be, wrapped up in anxiety and all this other, possible things that may happen and whatnot. That noise you hear in the background is me making some tea. Yoga. Yeah, yoga is something that's good. If you're into yoga, the downward facing dog, you can get in. As long as we don't stay there, sometimes it's a prettier place. Sometimes, Margie, sometimes we could be in our thoughts, and it could be a pretty place. Sometimes it's like Slade said, it could be a daydream. I know that out of my cabin, there's no internet, no cell service, no electricity. It's a simple and much slower life, something that is hard to slow down. What's going on, Lulu? Love you. Appreciate you for coming by. Live from Nova Scotia is Lulu. Love you. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Grandpa's Place. Sometimes you just need time to, just go somewhere where, there's none of that, the cares or the problems of the outside world. But sometimes in life it's a challenge because we got responsibilities. We have these lives that we create, especially if you live in a city somewhere, especially from a big city like New York. Sometimes living in New York, you got to go outside of the city. You have to find some place to go where there's no pressure, there's no stress, there's no people, the rat race and whatnot. Because New York City is busy. You constantly doing stuff. Like even right now, as I'm doing this live stream, I'm doing 2 or 3 other things that you don't see off camera right now. Right now, stuff is going on. Then after I get off of here, I got to get dressed and get ready, and it's a whole other world. I wish I could take y'all along with me on a ride on a train every day and just film the stuff that I see, the things that go on, the things that happen on the train. You would see a whole other world. Sherry K, what's going on? I was just talking about you and your positive towards life and his greatest channel. Thank you, Sherry K. I appreciate that. But there's a lot of positive people that come to my channel. Take a relaxing bath. There's a place. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I normally just take showers, but I could not do NY. Maybe able to do ham and NY. It's funny. NYC is doable. It's possible to be here and live and do what you got to do, but the reality is that being in the city so long, being a lifetime New Yorker and stuff like that, you do have to be able to step away. You do have to be able to release and pull yourself away from the rat race, from the challenges, the struggles, the stuff that's going on. It's crazy. I am the dude, man. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know. It's just something where what. Sometimes you need a moment. What's going on, Soulless Trenchcoat? Sometimes you just need a moment. Sometimes you just need a moment to reflect. Sometimes you just need a moment to get away. And I don't know. Like I said, it's easy. It's easy just to get caught up sometimes. And I don't know. I don't know how you folks feel about it. What's going on with Whitney 88? I really don't know. It's just one of those things where you kind of going into the next day, you don't want to feel like Groundhog Day, just going through the motions and stuff like that, and you wonder sometimes, like I said, at least I do. At least I do. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Even like this live stream, I'm just expressing myself. Forgive me, forgive me. I have chosen to be alone since last June. Is this healthy? Not sure. The longer you're alone, then the minute you must be in the real world, anxiety and panic can take over. Let's find the middle. Well, Margie, what I'll say to you like this: it is about balance. It is about taking, time to understand that isolation can be dangerous in a lot of ways, and understanding too that you don't want to be totally engulfed and ingrained with the sins and the vices of the world or the pressures and stresses of the world. But it is necessary in order to have both. To have that time where you can pull yourself away. There's times where you can pull yourself back in. Those little towns that you see in the movies, all the people know each other, and you can leave your doors unlocked. Is the kind of place I live. That's cool. That's cool. Lulu. That's cool. I mean, I don't know if I could live in a place like that though, but it's cool. I still haven't done my taxes. Can't take a break for that, right? Due date is coming soon. You better do your taxes. You better stop playing. What do you mean by loss of your mind? Do you mean like question reality? Because I have done that. Well, that's part of it too. Soulless trench coat. That's funny, Lynn. I'm lost. Lost a lot. Yeah. Well, you're found right here at Mel Mel's live stream. Well, so this transport, what I mean by lost in your mind is that too. It's like what Margie was saying, the conscious as well. Easy to get lost in your subconscious mind, to question reality, to understand, our meaning for being here. To wonder, if things are gonna work out. Just sometimes just to, hey, what's going on, Fireman CV? Sometimes, you might be like Slade was saying, you might just be daydreaming, you might just be wondering about stuff, you might just be pondering things and stuff like that. But for me, I guess I'm talking about questioning, just constantly questioning things, just constantly trying to understand the reality, just trying to understand my place in the world and where I fit in, and will things work out, and why do things move the way that they move? Maybe for me more of a philosophical sense. I don't know about you folks. I don't know if it ever happens. I don't want to assume that people, get lost in their thoughts sometimes. I don't want to assume that people daydream. But as human beings, maybe we do wonder sometimes. Maybe we do see a distant future, a distant reality. I remember when we were talking on the chat, Fireman was there. We were talking with Rebel State Sovereign, about time travel and stuff like that. Seeing the time travel and stuff like that, just wondering about stuff. Daydreaming is one part of it. Sometimes stressing is another. Like I said, it's just I guess I just asked the question. Have you ever been lost in your own mind for any reason? Whatever it is. I say dream all the time. Yeah, well, I think a dream is one thing. When you're dreaming, sometimes I think the dreaming is different from daydreaming. Even daydreaming is maybe a little bit different from being lost in your own mind. But yeah, if you're gonna say daydreaming as part of the equation, why not? As my tea is done, I'm about to get this tea going. I don't even know where I put the teacup at. Oh man, they threw the tea out. Anyway, the whole thing is this. It happens. I think it happens. I think sometimes when we're lost in our own mind, we're looking for a release. We're looking for, our well, time travel is real, so our time loops. Yeah, you know what? That might not be far fetched. Soulless trench coat. Our time loops. Be caught up in the time loop. That's some deep thinking right there. Some Doctor Strange type stuff. But yeah. I don't want to lose the thought that I was having right there. Yeah, the release. I think sometimes for me, I can't speak for anybody else. Sometimes I'm just lost in my own thoughts because sometimes you just subconsciously looking for a release from a reality that sometimes that can seem like what you're saying, Solar's trench coat, a time loop, like Groundhog Day or something. You're going through the same thing over and over and over, and then they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result and something like that. So, you try not to live out the definition of insanity. You want to have different things happen or things move in a certain way or to have some kind of understanding that you didn't have before, some perspective that leads you to, maybe a greater reality or whatever, like I said, in the next day, in the next moment, in the next situation. I'm going to bed soon. I've been up since we all chatted. Well, Lynn, I appreciate you, Lynn, for being here, even for a minute, for a second, for an hour, whatever it is, what I'm saying? Like, it's glad to have you around. Like deja vu is a minor time loop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Deja vu. Wow, I should do a live stream about that maybe one day. I don't know, or a poem or something. But yeah, deja vu. That's something totally different. That one freaks me out. I don't know if any of you ever had deja vu about situations. Just off the whim, off the blue or whatnot. But I've had deja vu in a lot of ways. You how you go to a place that quote unquote never been, but you're just standing around and you're looking around and you're just like, yo, this is all familiar for some reason. And that happens. That to me, that's scary right there. You're trying to figure out, what's what and why is it why, like how is this possible, But that's really just what that is, you know what I mean? So how do you define deja vu? How do I define deja vu, Grandpa's Place? Well, I mean, I'm not going to try to go from Webster's definition, but you could say something like, is it like a time loop? No, I'm not gonna say time loop because that'd be a cheat. Just a familiar, a unfamiliar, familiar circumstance. So something that you've seen before in a place that you've never been. An experience that just feels like something that you've been through before, but you don't know why. And I look at deja vu in that sense, in that frame of mind. You can't explain why you're familiar with it, but that's what it is. It is a feeling you actually knowing what is coming. Yeah, definitely. Been there, so familiar, so just go. Yes, I've had also dreams where seen things and they would play out in my life, but only small snips of that is the event. Well, that's true too. I mean, it is said that dreams and visions do come to us, and those are real things. Most people don't realize that their dreams do mean something. If you know how to interpret dreams, or somebody knows how to interpret dreams, then that's a plus. But yeah, dreams do mean something. You don't just dream a dream and it means nothing. But the question is, how do you interpret that dream? Or how can you find somebody that will interpret that dream and tell you what those dreams mean? Because they affect our reality. They give us messages. We have visions of things that can help us in reality. But that's a deeper conversation that folks may not want to have, and I'm probably not ready to go into right now. So I don't want to delve there into that. I'm not trying to get too metaphysical on you in this live stream, especially since I'm about to end it soon. But yeah, I guess for the sake of this live stream, I mean, I have been lost in my own thoughts. I have been in situations where I've daydreamed, in situations where I've wondered, just off into a distant reality, or just even the reality, the present that I'm in now. You kind of just wonder about things, or you find yourself in your mind just looking for a release. Subconsciously, you're led astray sometimes, or you're just distracted, by things that may be, an escape for you, because there's a lot of escapism in the world, be it in a movie or be it, online, you're looking for something, or, just talking to friends or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Sometimes you just get caught up in the feeling, lost in a song somewhere, it has its moments. It has its moments. I think it's something like Margie saying, you're just looking to find a balance and whatnot. That's yeah. You're just looking to find a balance, and hopefully I'm not boring anybody with this. With this talk. Hopefully I'm making some kind of sense. But it is what it is. I guess later on I will be back with another live stream, probably later on in the day. I thank you for the folks for being here now. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, yeah. Even now, sometimes you get lost in the moment. But anyway, Thank you for coming by. I appreciate all you folks for listening to me, my reflections, my ramblings, my musings, my thoughts. Much love and peace to you. Take care. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Happy birthday, Tosh Time.